Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, I'm going to be talking about a game called Dolmen today. And this game is just so bad. It's marketed as a sci-fi Dark Souls. You have a health bar, a stamina bar, and an energy bar. And so you can pick different weapons that you can fight with. You always have a ranged weapon and you always have a melee weapon. The melee weapon uses stamina, and the ranged weapon uses energy. And there's different elements. You can have fire, acid, ice. The game is not very intuitive, whereas Dark Souls, you can kind of understand it as you're playing. Dolmen is like it. It just really doesn't do anything for you. It tells you like some basic tutorials, like how to run, how to attack, and how to shoot your weapon, and that's pretty much it. You're supposed to teleport back to your ship and upgrade your person there, and you can upgrade your stats similarly to Dark Souls. You have a few different ones like Constitution and skill, things like that. And then you can create things on your ship as well. So you can create better weapons, you can upgrade your weapons and your armor. Um, so it is interesting in that aspect, but the I don't know what budget these people had, but it was just so like it was constantly glitching out on me. And mind you, this is a PS5 game that came out in 2022. And this game was just glitching out on me. The graphics were atrocious, and I had no idea what I was doing in the game. The purpose of the game is you basically land on this uncolonized planet, and there's like these alien races that were working on the planet, and they were killed by some beings. And there's some like Lovecraftian beings that exist on the planet now. It's like seems like they opened a portal to another dimension, and that's pretty much all you got. I was going through, honestly, there's so much just empty space in the game where you're just walking around. There's supposed to be places where you can pick up materials like by destroying crates and similar to what you would do in Dark Souls. But the amount of times that I would just walk into a room and nothing was in there, or there'd be like a pretty strong enemy and it was guarding nothing, or one piece of like maybe okay material that all you could use it for was to upgrade your equipment, not even like some like because you don't really pick up armor or weapons. You only pick up materials to make your armor and weapons. And so you have when you kill monsters, you get the currency of the game that helps you actually upgrade your character. And as you're fighting enemies and going through the environments, you also get different parts to be able to actually build your armor and weapons and upgrade your armor and weapons. Um, but yeah, just there's just a bunch of empty space. The graphics were horrible. I still don't understand what the point of the game was. I went through and I played the game. It maybe took me like 10 hours to beat the game. And at the end, I was like, what is this? I like every, it just, I don't know. The ending was super confusing. And I even looked it up online and other people were confused by it as well. Um, it just kind of seemed random. Uh, I felt no satisfaction in beating the game. I was going through the game and fighting bosses, and I didn't really understand why. You fight this one boss who's like, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna kill you, and instead, I'm just gonna, you know, work with you guys and help beat my coworker. And it's just like, what is even going on with this game? The plot was a mess. I can understand what they were trying to do, and I just wish they did a better job of it. Honestly, I'd probably give this game like a 4 or 5 out of 10. Also, when you're fighting, like there's just such delayed reactions to the things, to the buttons that you press. So you will like hit somebody, and the amount of, afterwards, if you do two heavy attacks back to back, if you try to do a third one, it'll just like pause for a second and then it'll go. the lunging mechanic is just so random. Like I couldn't figure out how to not get make my character lunge. It was almost just random chance because a lot of times I ended up taking damage myself because he would lunge instead of just doing a normal heavy attack. It was just so rough. I do not recommend playing this game at all. I'm sorry to the developers, but Jesus, this game is just so bad.